So this is a bit of a summer update. I haven't done a video for a while, and we are now in the beginning of August, and it has been a really hot year. Probably the hottest year I've known since I started gardening. The longest periods of drought and having to spend most of my time trying to water containers, and it has been a nightmare. I'm not gonna lie. It has meant that I've tried to make a few changes, and I am going to be making a few changes going forward, trying to get a lot more things into the borders, into the ground, so I'm not having to spend as much time watering as what I have done. Because of the heat, some things have done really well, and some things have done poor. And some things were good in spring, and some things are not good in summer. So I think I'm going to revisit a few things. Some things definitely that I'm going to change is my baskets. Now, this is a south-facing garden. I think I've made that clip before, and we can see from the state of a couple of the baskets here that they have really suffered in the heat. Obviously they're old Hessian baskets, and I could just replace a Hessian, but they've just been so dry, even when standing them in buckets of water. Not made any real difference. This one's done well, but this is a fairly new basket that wasn't done as earlier in the spring as the others. This one over here, again, has done really well, but is extremely dry. And I think what I'm going to do going forward, and I've already started growing a lot of them on, is doing some sedum type baskets for the back. Maybe swapping some of the petunias for geraniums, because obviously geraniums tolerate drought a bit more. And use the baskets for the petunias and things in the front garden, because that's north facing, and they've done really well out there. So here is a couple of my baby plants I've been growing on for these baskets. There's some sedums in that one. Got a couple in this one. So yeah. So that is one of the things that I'm going to make a change on. Another thing is just a couple of these borders. So this one here right at the front, it became very messy, just too mixed, too much stuff in. So I took the Achillea out, and I'll go on to Achillea in a minute. But I took the Achillea out, and the Achillea was replaced with a hosta that I had in the pot. And that's given a bit more space here for the hydrangea. The salvia is going to come out, and I'm going to put another hydrangea where that salvia is, so a bit more structure. Then I've got the geums behind and the astrantia, and I'm not going to plant anything in here again like the cosmos. And I'm going to just try to have a bit more structure in here, so it's not as wild and overflowing the footpath. Now the Achillea that was there has been moved over into the deeper border at the back, and the main reason for this is the Achilleas, and I don't really tell you this, but in the summertime the Achilleas attract flies, a lot of flies. So that's one there, that's all obviously there just below the hydrangea, and it complements each other well, but that's out here in the border, that's fine, it doesn't matter. They're not around your seating area. The one that is here is the one that was near the footpath, and it gets absolutely covered in blue bottles. Now it looks quite nice there, and I'm happy for it to be there. And it complements the verbena well, and it works down well with the other plants as you get into the roses. And the astilbes look good with it as well, being they're all similar colour, so it does fit better there. But that's what I found when I had the Achillea further into the border. You ended up with flies basically all over this area where we sit. So that's another thing I've learned. Another thing as well with the astrantias, I do have a number of them. Obviously they're being cut back now. There's one just just over there to the left of the peony. That's been cut back. Now, they also attract a lot of flies, and in the summertime they smell of crap, basically. And I mean, you know, sewage. And it's really strong. And sometimes you'll be walking around thinking, I can smell cat poo or dog poo or anything like that. No, it's not that. It's the plant. Um, what other little things I want to mention? I'm not going to go on the full border of absolutely everything right now because there's too much to talk about. The greenhouse has done well. Tomatoes and cucumbers have done very well. The cucumbers are suffering a little bit because of the heat. They're drying out a bit quick. Tomatoes are loving it and they're doing really well in there, and I'm really pleased with that. I did get myself some trays to put the grow bags on to help with the watering. They've done really well. The raspberries have done well this year. The blackberries have done well this year. Strawberries have done well earlier in the year. I need to get myself some autumn raspberries. I don't have any of them, but I will be doing that. Hydrangeas have done well. The roses have done well. Heleniums, I'm loving there, along with the white hydrangea and the Achillea. You've got a big Rebecca at the back, which I have split loads, and that's now in all the border on the right hand side as well. The dahlias have done pretty well, but I've got a lot of dahlias, so at the moment I've brought them to the front so I can keep an eye on them and take note of which one is which colours is which. And they're all good. I'm pleased with them. What else have I been covering? Just a few more plants to go in there. This is a nice dahlia that I did get from the Birmingham Flower Show. Really nice one. Almost reminds me of a bit of a peacock type looking thing. I'm just trying to think. Oh, yeah, what I've also done is I've moved a couple of trees. Now, I did have a big cherry tree in that trough. It was just drying out constantly. That's been dug out and that's been moved to the back in the middle at the back there, just to the left of the red acer. I've also, in the process of that, moved a few hydrangeas to the back to get more hydrangeas and roses together. Now, these were spare hydrangeas I had. And this sambuca has been moved. It's going to be chopped back a bit harder than that. It's only just been moved. Now, it's not the right time to be moving stuff. If you are going to move anything now, you need to water it heavily, give it a chance to survive. The magnolia as well, I've been putting to the border there because, again, that was drying out too quick. But all in all, I'm pretty pleased. I gotta say, I'm pretty pleased. Everything has done really, really well this year, despite the heat. Even the vegetable trough now, there's just got lettuce in, basically. Some new batch of lettuce has been sowed. But I've had all sorts out of there. Peas, broad beans, loads of lettuce. I've had lettuce growing at the back as well. Yeah, I'm pleased. But yeah, I think, like I say, just to wrap it up for the time being, I will do some more videos just showing certain things off. But I think what I would say is really pleased with how it's gone. Pleased with how I've managed to keep it tidy on that end, on the grass and everything else. But I want to try and move away from pots if I can. Get more into the borders, especially if we're going to have hotter weather, less to water. And just try and keep the area around here as tidy as I possibly can. And keep it looking a bit sharper. But yeah, I'll do another video soon.